by the hand and show me off in all the ways you can, and treat me like a queen. I know I am. I'm tired of these boys, yeah, I need a man. You just threw away your last chance to take the trash out, find me a brand new man, someone who's gonna take me by the hand and show me off in all the ways you can, and treat me like a queen. I know I am. I'm tired of these boys, yeah, I need a man. You just threw away your last chance to take the trash out. Oh, to take the trash out.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That was Take the Trash Out, and that was by Emily Miller, who's on the phone all the way from America. How are you doing, Emily?
Good. I'm glad to be here.
You know, it's glad, and you're in your car. Whereabouts are you?
I am currently in Knoxville, Tennessee
All
at a
right.
gas station. I just got done playing in the Smoky Mountains and
Wow.
yeah, and played in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I'm headed back to Nashville right now.
Wow, there's a lot of people there.
It's spring break over here, and so there was a lot of kids and a lot of people just on vacation, so it was nice.
Oh,
Nice to
wow.
see faces.
Yeah. I mean, have you got on with lockdown up to now then? COVID, I should say.
It's slowly starting to pick back up. I've gotten enough shows booked, and it's not nearly like it was back in 2019.
Yeah.
But we're slowly starting to pick back up. Hopefully by this summer, fingers
Yeah.
crossed, we'll be back and rolling a little bit more.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that was a great song. That's your new song out, isn't it? Take the Trash Out.
Yes, it is. I'm excited about it.
Oh, it's a brilliant song. And tell us a bit about that. How did it come about?
Me and my buddy, his artist name is Drake Austin. He's one of my best friends in Nashville. He called me. I was trying to, this is the first song, that I'm kind of promoting off of my new EP that's coming out, sometime, not sure on a specific date, but he called me because I told him I needed some upbeat, just very me songs, and he knows me better than anybody else musically, and so he called me up and he's like, "Take the trash out," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I didn't know if he was saying a song or what. And he called and he got so excited and he was like, it's you to a T. And I started thinking about it and I was like, it is. And I always joke that I'm like, men are stupid, and I'm like, but I just haven't found the right one yet, and so we just got to take the trash out. And so whether you're a boy or a girl, whatever, this song is just an empowering song to just take the trash out of your life. It's spring now, so nothing better than spring cleaning. If that's a human being, so be it.
I'll let you into a secret. I turned 60 in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still stupid. It doesn't get any better. So, I'm the same now as when I was 6. So.
I've heard that about men, that they don't age, they don't mature, and I'm like, I've seen it for my own self, but not everybody. There's some good boys out there, but
we're like a good cheese. We mature, but we're smelly.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
But tell us, how did it all start for you? What made the career, or not the career as such, but what made Emily start singing, and what was your inspiration for singing?
Well, I started singing at church at a really young age. My parents put us in all the kids' choirs and everything at church. And I didn't really start taking music seriously, and I'd say until junior high. I got a solo in junior high, and I thought I sounded amazing. and so by the time I hit high school, I was in all the top choirs in school, and I did classical music for a long time, and I was professionally trained and did a bunch of competitions, and I thought I was going to pursue that for a long time, and I got some full ride scholarships to school for classical music, and then I realized I'm like, I'm too much of a bumpkin for to do this for the rest of my life. And I never really loved it. I liked it a lot, but I didn't love it. And every time I was supposed to be practicing for a competition, I was singing country music instead. And so I ultimately decided, like about my sophomore year in high school, that I wanted to do this. And so I went to Belmont University in Nashville, and it was about my junior year at Belmont when I finally decided, like, this is what I need to be doing, not just what I wanted to do. Like, I needed to do this for my own self, and for as many people that I can touch along the way.
It's brilliant. And you hail from, is it Westchester?
Westchester, Ohio. Yes.
Well, where I live near Liverpool, about probably 20, 25 miles away, there's a town called Chester.
Yes.
And I think that was probably first because the Romans built it.
Probably. I feel like everything over there is first.
It is, isn't it? It's like, you tend to like New York, but it was called New Amsterdam, wasn't it, originally, and whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated when you hear like Birmingham, Alabama, and there's a Birmingham here, and it's and it's all like that, But yeah, Chester is a phenomenal place. It's like I say, I can be there in 20-25 minutes, and it's full of it's got Roman ruins going on in it as well. And but no, when I saw your bio and it said Westchester, I thought, all right, yeah. So Chester girl, Ohio.
Yes.
But okay, so then you when did you sort of take the leap to come to Nashville then, from that period in your life?
Yeah, my parents took me to Nashville a few times, and I loved it. And I went to CMA Fest in Nashville for a couple summers, and it was like my favorite thing in the world, just country music galore for days. And that's when I really knew. I was like, man, I need to get down here. And there was a girl in my high school that she was going to Belmont in Nashville for musical theater, and I was like, well, I wonder what other programs they have. And that's when I researched it, and I majored in commercial vocal performance, which is commercial music, popular music. And I did that, and that's kind of what led me. And a lot of my friends moved away after graduation. I graduated in 2018, and a lot of my friends moved away, and I'm one of the few, I'd say, that actually have been doing music full time out of it.
Wow, congratulations on that. It's amazing. It's fulfilling your dream, but you can tell with your vocal range that you are professionally trained. I mean, I've seen, quite a few videos now, and the amount of power that comes out of your mouth, it's just phenomenal. I'd hate to get on the wrong side of you and you're telling me off, but it was like...
That's a true statement. Everybody knows that. I've never had a quiet voice in my life. And I always say my mom was very loud growing up, and my grandma and everything. And so they just pass it down the generations.
I've been told that about me as well, to be honest with you. I've got a bit of a mouth on me too, but no, I mean, like I said, if you've got all that talent and you put 150 million % into your performance, because you do, and you've been accredited for that, that you've got, I like artists, whether you're male or female, but they have got to have a little bit of oomph about them. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Miranda Lambert.
Me too.
But I like her more than Carrie Underwood because I think she's got more sass about her. And
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? And she's not having to belt the top notes going all this. Like, she just gives it like sort of rock.
Oh, yeah.
And I love artists like that. And you're definitely in that ilk of the Miranda Lamberts, if want of a better phrase. I think you've got more sass about you going on.
I'm not gonna lie, I do.
What does your parents think of all this then? I mean, obviously a couple of years gone down the road now and making it a career. Are they super proud of you?
Oh, they are, and they are extremely supportive. I won't say they were supportive at the beginning. I had to scratch and fight in order to
Yeah.
get to Nashville for college. Everybody in Westchester, Ohio typically stays in Westchester, Ohio. And so my mom was not very happy when I told her I wanted to go to school in Nashville. I remember many times where I would go and cry in my car because we would get into fights over it, and me and my mom are two peas in a pod, and so we have the same personality, so we butt heads when we don't agree on something. And so but then ultimately once I got to Nashville, they have been extremely supportive. They come out whether they want to or not. They'll come sit in smoky bars and listen to me sing for 4 hours if that's what I want them to do. And they stream my music constantly, and my dad gives my business cards out to everyone, and they're extremely, them, my sister, and I have one sister that's older than me, and she's a doctor, and she tells all her patients if they ask her about her family, like they're all very supportive.
Like she's just opened them up doing a heart surgery. So, by the way, my sister's a country singer.
Yeah, that's what she does.
I bet she gives you some material for a song, you know, being a country song. This person's just lost his leg. Oh, I'll use that. But no, I mean, I must admit, and I said this to everybody, I've never been to Nashville. It's like a cardinal sin for a country music lover. And I was destined for this year, because obviously my birthday and everything like that, I was destined to come over. And the amount of artists since I've started the radio interviewing for about a year or so now, you know, whether it's Steve Warren or Rodney Foster, you know, you name it, they've all said, when you come over, give us a shout, we'll go and hang. I'm thinking I need more than a couple of weeks to do this. I'm going to have to be there for like a month. I'm going to have no kidneys left, you know. But
amen.
But I think we'll play another song. Let's play Dear Lonely. Tell us a little bit about that.
Dear Lonely is a very personal song to me. I'm a firm believer that everyone deals with some sort of addiction in life, sex, drugs, alcohol, you name it. Mine happened to be loneliness from a very young age. And it got me into trouble a lot in my teenage years because I would act out because I was lonely. And even though I had a supportive family, there's just sometimes things aren't good enough when you have an addiction. And so I sat down, my mom and my sister had a heart to heart with me, and they told me, you need to fix yourself. Like, we can't fix you anymore. And I was going down a dark road. And so I sat down one night, tears in my eyes, and I wrote Dear Lonely. And God truly gave me every word that was in there. I don't know where that song came from. Still to this day, when I listen back, I'm like, how did I write something so personal and not remember it? And it was truly out of body experience. And so, so Dear Lonely is one of my favorites that I've ever written.
I've just got goosebumps all over me when you've said that, because it's an amazing story, because you do write in country music. That's probably what makes it different than different genres, that you write from the heart, whether it's good, sad, you know, indifferent. You've got an addiction. I was speaking to another artist some months ago, and he was telling about his addictions, and he's turned himself around, and you found a channel now with what you've just told me. It seems a natural progression that you've turned to music, and that is going to be your focus. You'll never be lonely again.
Yeah.
You know, so
very true.
But let's play Dear Lonely, and we'll come right back with Emily, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's happening now, and fingers crossed, the forthcoming future.
Dear Lonely, it's been a while since I last saw you out on the road, trying to find me with your wicked smile. Dear Lonely, there you are again, looking around, tempting me back into your arms again. These days when I'm on a road down a well holding back the lies to another life that I hide behind, so they can see inside. It ain't always the easiest road to choose. I'm fighting the devil, hoping that I don't lose. 'Cause when I go down the beaten path to nowhere, when I go down and act like I don't care, and fall into the same trap and try to come back up for air. Baby, I don't know this time, dear Holly, not tonight. 'Cause I'm tired of being the same girl that I didn't choose to be. 'Cause today I'm taking the new road to life, and I'm not gonna lose. 'Cause when I go down beaten path to nowhere, when I go down, act like I don't care, fall into the same trap, try to come back up for air. Baby, I don't know this time, dear Holly, I'll be alright. I promise you this time, dear lonely, goodbye tonight.
Right, that was Dear Lonely by Emily Miller. And like I said, if you listen to what Emily just said about the song and then you listen to the song, yeah, you get it. You absolutely get it. And you're an amazing songwriter as well.
Thank you.
That's a God-given talent right there. You know. So where did that inspiration come from about songwriting? I mean, was it just the fact of all the learnings that you've done from being a young girl all the way up with all your family, or is it something that you'll read in a book and it'll give you a light bulb moment?
Songwriting is when I am not like a lot of other artists in town and stuff, and songwriting is very challenging for me, believe it or not. When I get inspiration, it's usually at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a night owl anyways, and so usually I'm up and I just start strumming a chord progression, and then lyrics just start flowing out. But it doesn't happen every day for me. It's sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's once every 3 months, and I try to write as often as possible, at least get something down. But I'm a people watcher, and I've always been a people watcher. I claim that I'm an introverted extrovert, and so if I know you, I'm extremely extroverted, but if I don't know you, I won't speak. I am very quiet, and so I've always been a people watcher, and I love just learning from people and listening. And as much as I love to talk, I love to listen, because I feel like listening is the key to creativity and the key to expanding yourself. And so songwriting has just been one of those things that I've recently really dug into, and I just try to, if it's not 100% me, I can't sell it. And so I try to make everything that I put out, everything that I write, 100% me, from my past experiences, my lessons learned, and my hopefully future lessons that I will learn.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I pick up little things. I mean, I've wrote some songs, and you know, I've just not done it since lockdown. I've just concentrated on my radio, but I should have done, and I've got more things I've picked up over the last couple of weeks, actually. But I picked up on something, and it was an athletic person, an athlete, being interviewed on radio in the UK, and he'd had a bad injury, and the commentator said to him, he said, you know, how do you get through the day? You know, each day, because you're not competing anymore. And he said, listen, man, every day I'm above ground, that's a bonus. And I picked that above ground up, and I sat on it for years, and I built a song around above ground and celebrating you're not 6 feet under, you know. And there was something that Deacon off Nashville, you know, Easton Corbin, is it Easton Corbin? Yeah, is it? No, it's not. It's Charles Easton. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
And he come out, I think it was one of the first episodes. He said, I'm not dead, I'm not done. I thought, I'm having that one as well. So he threw that in there and mixed it all up. And it just became a therapy thing. And then one of my other songs I wrote, I worked full time for most of my career, and a day job. And a girl opposite me, she was a proper Liverpudlian girl. If you don't know a Liverpudlian girl, you get along with them. You know, you will definitely get along with them.
Oh, yeah.
The feisty, you know, they'll tell you, I don't like you, you know, and it's like, oh, thank you. I like you too. But this girl said, he was on about a rich, not a rich boyfriend, but basically her needs are quite expensive. And she said, I've got champagne taste, but he's got lemonade money. And I thought, can I have that for a song?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Man, I like that one.
Yeah, it's like, and I wrote a song. I wrote a song about it as well. Made it more fun than anything, you know. But I'm just fascinated when I'm talking to like songwriters, you know, and it just amazes me the amount of talent that people have, you know. And I think country music, and no disrespect to any other genre, because like rock has its own, you know, vibe. You know, rap has its own vibe, although it's not for me, you know, and all that. And then you listen to some of the new country stuff, and you're thinking, I think they've lost the way a little bit. But it's more commercial, which is fair enough. I know that's what they've got to do these days. But when I listen to lyrics like yours, I thought, well, we're back on. You know, I was speaking to Dave Wilbert last week, and he's another guy. He's also 90s country, out of straight into the 90s country, and it's right up my street. And I could sit talking for hours, you know, about songwriting and stuff like that. But it's absolutely brilliant. So what about now then? So you've got gigs lined up, you've got an EP coming out shortly. Do you do stream gigs as well? Have you been doing some of those?
I do occasionally. I actually have one this Thursday promote Take the Trash Out coming out. And so I have one Thursday night, but yeah, I love doing those. It's just a way, there's so many people. I have a lot of my church friends and fans are a little on the older side, and so they won't come out to the bars and stuff. And so I get to see them, and I love doing request shows and just talking to people. Like I said, I'm a talker, and so anytime I get to do that, I love them. So yeah. I'm usually on there. I say I'm going to be on there for an hour doing a live stream, and I'm usually on there for 3 hours. So, but they're fun. And
how would we get to see that? Is it via Facebook or?
Yes. I'm going to go live on my Facebook page.
Oh, great. So let's, and is it late at night on Thursday?
It's at 7 p.m. Central Time. I don't know what that is over there.
No, it'll be midnight here, because what threw me with Dave's interview last week, and I was saying to Bev, the publicist, that she's been an absolute diamond with me for the last 14 months. She's awesome. Just, you know,
yeah.
I just basically said, you've got every Monday and Tuesday for March, April, and into May. If you want to fill them up, your days, and she has, like, it's crazy. A lot of people have interviewed this time last year, like Ali Colleen and people like that. They're coming, Lockland and all that, they're coming on, and then some new guys and girls coming on like yourself, and it's just amazing. And it caught me out because normally we're 6 hours ahead. So if it's 1 o'clock, obviously in Nashville or Central Time, you know, it's 7 o'clock here. But luckily, I was in my studio an hour early, just making, you know, prepping everything. Next minute, it's thinking up Dave Wilbert. I went, that's 5 hours. I'm struggling with this. But you went back. Your daylight hour went back last weekend.
Yes. Do you guys not have daylight savings?
Well, it's called. Well, we go back and we go forward. So we go forward at the end of this month, the last weekend of this month. So we'll resume our 6 hour gap.
Got you.
But I didn't know. I was like, hang on a minute, that's 5 hours. Is he on Eastern Standard or is it? I'm like, and then I've got artists who are Western as well, and I'm going, oh, and then I've sort of arranged to phone an Australian country singer, a guy called Adam Harvey, who's brilliant, and I forgot that they're in front. Next minute, I'm getting a call. I'll call on my phone, going, it's Adam Harvey. I went, but it's a day earlier and they're 24 hours. I'm like, oh, my head. I had to go back down.
I can't keep track, especially because I play in Central and Eastern a ton. So every email, especially when Bev is like scheduling stuff, I'm always CST, EST. I'm like, which one's which? And when we changed the time today, I was like, is that Central or Eastern? Because it's too much for me to take. So I'm like, I tell her, I'm like, use CST and EST for everything, or otherwise I will get confused.
Well, I've got used to it now because I mean, I got the email. Obviously, you couldn't make it at the same time, but I went on for a long walk, and then I got this ping. I went, oh, all right, yeah, fine. I said, I'm not doing anything, so yeah, I can make it. Like, say, a couple of hours later. That's absolutely fine. I'm going, but what's that? Luckily, I had 5 fingers and 4 fingers and 1 thumb to count, and I went, yeah, 5, yeah. It's 8 o'clock UK time.
Yeah, there you go.
But before we close then, and I'm looking forward, and hopefully we get you over the UK as well at some.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I've
never left America.
No,
I've never been out of America ever.
No, well, it's such a big country, isn't it? You know, it's like
it is.
You know, I mean, I love America. I've been everywhere bar Nashville in America. You know, but. I would, like I said, I'd love to get more artists over, and we're trying to forge a link with Bev and the management over there to try and get more people over here, and we're trying to accommodate. Awesome. So, you know, but she knows all about it, so we'll we'll be doing that. But no, we'll finish off with playing Avaline. But before we do, there's a question I asked all my American friends, as I call them now, not just artists, but friends, which you are part of. And Mount Rushmore. You've got Mount Rushmore and 4 legends that are carved out in the stone. If you could replace those heads with people that's inspired you, whether it's musically, it's got to be a mixture between music and family. Because I did this for the very first time with Phil Vassar last year, and Phil Vassar just went, yeah, my wife, my kids, my grandma. Oh, there was no conversation there. So now I say, you've got to mix it up. You can half and half. And one artist said, well, I've got a chisel. Can I do 1 more head? Yeah, you can do 1 more head. But who would be those 4 people?
Let's see. Well, family-wise, I would say my mom. Like I said, she's the hardest worker in the world. She doesn't know how to take a break, and I have to yell at her all the time to take a chill pill, like just calm down, relax. And but she has taught me so much business over the years. Like, my career wouldn't be what it is without my mom. She's constantly, I say nag, but it's more of a push, pushing me to just continue to do things and to be creative. She's extremely creative, and I would not be anywhere I am without her. As far, this is hard. I would have to say my top musical influence. I love Reba. Reba is amazing. I worship the ground that she walks on. I'm obsessed. I grew up watching the Reba show, and so I think she's hilarious, and I just feel like me and her would be good friends, you know. And so yeah, it's just, she's amazing. I could listen to her all day. Say Reba, and then I'm a huge Trisha Yearwood fan, and I just, there's no voice like hers. Same with Reba, as far as like just distinct voices, and I think that's my biggest influence by both of them, are just how different they are, and they didn't try to sound like anybody else. And everybody in Nashville gets caught up when they see somebody else succeed. They're like, well, maybe I'm not doing it right, maybe this and that. But then I have to step back and be like, well, nobody sounds like you, and no one's supposed to sound like you. If you're doing it right, you should be doing your own thing. And so I'd say them two are my top like musical influences. And I love 90s country, and 90s country is the best. 90s and early 2000s are the best, in my opinion, country music. I love the older stuff too, but I was raised on 90s country, and so I'm a 90s girl, and so I just love it. My fourth one, that's a hard one.
But I've been fortunate where I've seen Reba and I've seen Trisha, and over in the UK, 90s country is very much in vogue. It's never left. We do specials. I mean, I do special night. Some of my friends do special 90s nights, and everybody just loves it. They know the words.
Yes. It's the best. It's the prime. That to me, that's like country at its prime, is just 90s and early 2000s is just, I'd say until like 2005 is kind of the cutoff of the good country music. But yeah, I would say the other person that I've always adored, loved, and just as a human being, would be Kellie Pickler. She is, I've always said that I want my own reality TV show, and everybody always makes fun of me when I say that, but I just feel like I would be great at and I love reality TV. I'm one of those people. I watch every reality TV show. I don't care what anybody says. It's my guilty pleasure. Good. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is as good as it. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. We'll part that one.
But I just love it. And so I've always, when she had her own reality TV show, and just her spunk and like how fun she is and how nice she is to everybody, she's such like a influence to me on being myself. Like I'm a fool. I always call myself a fool, because I just, in the best sense though, I love making people laugh, and I laugh at myself. I don't take myself seriously very often, and I learned that from her, and just how it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be goofy. It's okay to just entertain people even if you're not on stage. It's fun. And so I'd say Kellie Pickler would be maybe my last one.
Did she have a song out, Little Bit Gypsy?
And that's my jam.
I used to sing that, you know, and I'll tell you for why. Over in the UK, it was a number one smash line dance hit over here.
Really?
And it's one of the best line dances I've ever seen perform, because we do play to a lot of line dancers. I mean, it's the stable of country music over here. And what keeps it, you know, we have the Western scene with the guys with the guns and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember touring with James House, and he was looking at the gunslingers coming out, and he went, what the what? You know, I was like, yeah. But we have that side, and then we have the line dancers, you know, where you can go for a weekend and the floor is just, well, it used to be, hopefully get back there soon, full. But one of my favorite songs was Kellie Pickler and Little Bit Gypsy.
That entire record.
Ding, 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 ding. It's the bass line on that is just like.
Yes. Yeah. I recorded her song. One of my very first demo CDs that I recorded when I came to Nashville was No Cure for Crazy. And that entire record, the Woman I Am record, that would probably be, if I was on a deserted island, that'd be one of the 3 records that I would take with me. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Well, I think you've chosen 4 great. You've got to have your mum. I mean, you know, you've got, and to be honest, like I said to you about me being silly and it never changes. Your mum, I'm 60 now. My mum's what, 83? It doesn't change. She's on me. She's on my tail, and I won't have it any other way. I would not have it, and it keeps me in check a little bit, you know.
Yep.
He says with a twinkle in his eye. But but I wish you all the very, very best in your career. You sound and you look and you give off that vibe that I would love to be in your company. I think you're just one of these people that exudes enthusiasm, and that is something you can never buy. You can't teach it. You cannot teach it. And I think you've got great things ahead of you, and I look forward to your career with great interest in your EP, and hopefully get over here and hopefully try and get onto the stream on Thursday as well. But yeah, Emily, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us here in the UK.
Thank you.
And we'll finish off with Avaline.
Yes.